we opened the windshield and ended up pulling him over.
I got an axe from the snowplow. He busted the window. People didn't know how to wake him up, so I climbed in there. I started smacking him, and he woke up.
A barricade is being set up to block off the area for repairs to the power lines. According to First Energy, around 20 people on Lima Avenue lost power due to the accident. The condition of the driver of the car is unknown at this time. We'll update you on air and online as we continue to learn more. Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News at 11. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you for spending part of your evening with us. We'll get to all of our top stories and more in just a moment. But first, let's bring in meteorologist John Birchfield. John, we saw some sun earlier today, but I understand we got some snow showers coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, Michael, some very light snow showers, not going to amount to much in terms of accumulation, so you're not going to need that snow blower with this system. Just the dusting up to half an inch that'll be expected with some light snow rolling on through. It is going to be another cold night. Temperatures down to 10 degrees, and we officially climbed to 24, and that makes it the warmest temperature reading since January 22nd. And we officially went 9 days with highs shy of 20 degrees. Temperatures are frigid in Williams County, only at 2 degrees, 4 in Henry County, 7 right now towards Findlay. And that Arctic high pressure to the north of us, that's what brought us the sunshine today. But to the west, there are some snow showers that'll be rolling in late tonight. Some light snow between about 8 to 10 a.m., tapering off around midday. And that hour-by-hour forecast does show you the cloud cover rolling on in and some light snow showers that'll be possible right around daybreak. Into the late morning and the early afternoon, snow showers winding down, and I do expect just mostly cloudy skies and not quite as frigid feeling into the afternoon. I'm going to break down your full 10-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Michael.
All right, John, we'll see you then. A Toledo woman has been arrested after police say she killed an 82-year-old woman with her car last July. 56-year-old Tammy Bridal faces charges including aggravated vehicular homicide following that fatal incident. Police say on July 7th, Doris Kruger failed to stop at a stop sign on Glen Street while pulling onto Secor and was struck by Bridal's car. Kruger was pronounced dead at the scene. According to data from Bridal's vehicle, she accelerated her car's speed 5 seconds before the crash from 64 to 76 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. Bridal was released on her own recognizance and has a court appearance tomorrow at 9 a.m. Toledo police are searching for a person that hit a woman in West Toledo with their car early this morning. According to a press release from TPD, 23-year-old Aubriana Hackett was trying to de-escalate a situation that started at a bar on West Sylvania Avenue and ended in the intersection of West Sylvania and Hearthstone Place. As Hackett was walking away, she was hit by a gray or silver SUV. She was taken to the hospital with what police are calling non-life-threatening injuries. If you know anything about this, call or text Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. An ice fisherman went into cardiac arrest this morning a half-mile off of Catawba Island. The incident happened around 10 a.m. south of South Bass Island near Put-in Bay. GPS was used to identify the location where rescue was needed. A U.S. Coast Guard chopper was requested and CPR was administered on site. The individual was taken to a hospital in Port Clinton. The condition and identity of the person is unknown. Newly unsealed documents are shedding light on the case of a Chicago surgeon accused of murdering his ex-wife and her husband in Columbus, Ohio. Spencer and Monique Tepe were found shot and killed inside their home in late December. An affidavit reports that Monique Tepe told her friends and family that her ex-husband, 39-year-old Michael McKee, was abusive and threatened to kill her during and after their marriage of less than 2 years. According to another witness, McKee said he could kill Tepe at any time and would find her and buy the house right next to her, and that she will always be his wife. McKee is charged with multiple counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary. If convicted, he faces life in prison with the possibility of parole. Jury selection in the murder trial of Dale Warner is set to continue tomorrow. 143 potential jurors have been questioned so far, with just 45 moving on. More than a third said they already believe Warner is guilty. The court plans to bring in dozens more jurors as it works towards seating a full panel before trial starts on the 10th. To learn more about this case, watch the Hidden in Plain Sight, The Disappearance and Discovery of Dee Warner special. You can also watch a recap of the first week of jury selection for Dale Warner's murder trial. You can catch these on WTOL 11 Plus and over on our YouTube page. A Michigan horror-themed festival this weekend. happened in Monroe, and the biggest scares were the scheduling issues, after dozens of vendors say they were turned away, claiming the event was overbooked. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio now. Dom, what can you tell us?
Well, Michael, what was supposed to be a big weekend for small businesses has turned into a major headache for some vendors. Dozens are posting online saying they traveled hours to the Michigan Oddities and Horror Fest, paid booth fees, and even booked hotels, only to be told that there was no space left when they got there. Take a look at these Facebook posts. More than 20 vendors say they were unable to set up on Saturday at the Monroe County Fairgrounds Expo Center. Several claimed they paid to participate, but were told there was no space left. I got in touch with one of them, Wickley Co., who say they arrived at 8 a.m. after traveling from Medina, Ohio, only to be told there was no space. A disappointment, adding they've never had issues with the event before and believe too many vendors may have been booked this year. It's created a situation where people who did get a booth feel a lot of sympathy for those that didn't.
It really sucks for vendors because vendoring's a hard business. This is your stuff. Some people drove from 4 hours to get turned away after they paid. That's not okay, man.
Feather Metal from Michigan, another vendor who was turned away, shared a similar story, saying this was their first event of the year, and with their main income being the business and winter months tight with limited events, one no can be incredibly frustrating.
Do feel terrible for the vendors that did get turned away.
But some vendors say there is some nuance to this situation, saying organizer Nate Thompson normally does a good job, and they will be surprised if he doesn't make the situation right.
I hope that they did find some way to get their refund back, and I know Nate has been very, very dedicated to trying to make sure that everybody gets their money back that they were intended to.
I think, like any businessman, you've got to give him a breath to breathe, and I'm pretty sure that if they get refunded, then I understand their frustration still, but at that point they need to understand that he did his very best to try to make through it.
I texted with Nate Thompson, the organizer. He told me about 20 to 25 vendors who they didn't have a space for will be receiving refunds. Reporting in studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
SNAP benefits are changing. As of this morning, nearly 42 million Americans are feeling the effects. It's one part of President Trump's big, beautiful bill that was signed last July. Previously, in order to benefit from SNAP, adults aged 18 to 54 without a child under 18 had to work 80 hours per month. Now the age gap is expanded. The ceiling of 54 has now risen to 64, and parents with kids 14 and older, they're also included, along with individuals previously covered under the Affordable Care Act's Medicaid expansion. Some previous exemptions are also going away, including able-bodied veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and young adults aging out of foster care. They'll all have to meet the work requirements or risk losing their SNAP benefits. Certain groups of legally living migrants also may not qualify anymore. WTOL's sister station, WKYC, spoke to Ohio DFS Director Matt Damschroeder, who said in part, SNAP is a vital support, but it's designated to supplement income, not replace it. A good job provides not only greater independence, but also a buffer against future disruptions to public assistance. In Springfield, Ohio, temporary protected status ends Tuesday night for thousands of Haitian immigrants. State and local officials are preparing for possible federal immigration operations. Officials say between 12 and 15,000 Haitians have sought refuge in the area. City officials are pushing for transparency and clear communication from federal agencies. Leaders warn deportations could put people in danger and disrupt the local economy.
I have no idea whether ICE is going to come into Springfield, Ohio or not. I really don't. But if they come, we will have the Ohio State Highway Patrol to back up the Springfield Police Department, to back up the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
Governor DeWine says if tensions escalate, he's prepared to deploy additional law enforcement resources to support the Springfield community. A 5-year-old Minneapolis boy and his father back home in Minnesota this weekend after being detained by ICE agents and sent to a detention center in Texas. The detainment of Ian Ramos, who was originally detained by ICE agents while wearing a knit hat and carrying a Spider-Man backpack, sparked global outrage. Ian Lee has more.
5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father, who were detained by immigration officers in Minnesota and held at an ICE facility in Texas, are back in Minneapolis this weekend, released after a judge's order. Democratic Representative Joaquin Castro accompanied father and son back to Minnesota and released these images. A photo of Liam wearing a bunny hat and Spider-Man backpack at the time of his detainment drew global outrage. Ramos was welcomed home by Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, among others. Liam's release comes amid a weekend of anti-ICE demonstrations throughout the nation, including in Los Angeles and Boston. Liam's release also comes as Democratic lawmakers continue to push for ICE reforms in Washington. Proposed new restrictions would include unmasking ICE agents and requiring more warrants. On Sunday's Face the Nation, Republican Representative Michael McCall acknowledged ICE operations in Minneapolis under Border Patrol's Gregory Bovino went too far.
Bovino went in there with these roving patrols. He escalated the situation. He escalated the tension between the public and law enforcement.
President Trump said this weekend he is now advising Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem not to intervene in protests occurring in cities led by Democrats unless local authorities ask for federal help.
And if they want help, they have to ask for it. Because if we go in, all they do is complain.
Trump's border czar Tom Homan has suggested the administration could reduce the number of immigration enforcement officers in Minnesota, but only if the state and local officials cooperate. Ian Lee, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Anyone flying soon may have to pay. That's if you don't have a real ID or passport. Starting today, passengers will have to pay a $45 fee to use the Transportation Security Administration's new TSA Confirm ID program. Travelers with non-compliant forms of ID must go to a TSA website, sign up and pay the fee before they can go through security. TSA advises anyone paying this fee to prepare for an extra 15 to 30 extra minutes to get through security. Coming up, the first ever Winter Spotlight Festival at Perrysburg High School wrapped up today with incredible student prizes. Find out who stole the show at Perrysburg's Got Talent. That's coming up next.
And some light flurries possible tomorrow with more widespread snow likely on Friday, as well as breezy and colder conditions. Your full 10-day forecast, that's coming up next. Well, snow showers return to the forecast tomorrow, so hope you enjoyed that beautiful sunshine while it was here today. Very, very light snowfall with just the dusting to up to ½ an inch of accumulation, so you're not going to need to break out the snow blower or the shovel. Snow is going to be most likely during the morning, although I'm not expecting widespread impacts to area schools. High pressure to the north of us brought that sunshine today, and some snow showers moving in from the west are rolling in from Illinois, now pushing into Indiana, and those snow showers going to be crossing over the Indiana-Ohio state line by about 6 to 7 o'clock a.m. In the meantime, it is cold. Temperatures down to 7 degrees in Findlay, down towards Upper Sandusky, we're at 7 degrees, and 10 across Lucas and Wood counties. So the hour by hour, we are tracking a warm front. That's going to lift in those light snow chances right around daybreak. Increase in cloud cover is expected with snow chances moving in between about 7 to 10 o'clock a.m. By the afternoon, that warm front slides off to the east of us. Temperatures are actually going to be climbing to the mid to upper 20s, and other than a few flurries, the afternoon is expected to be dry. So how much snow are we expecting? Very, very little. We're talking just about ½ an inch, if not a little bit less, with the better chances for snowfall west of I-75, closer to the Indiana state line, and slightly lesser amounts east, closer to the lakeshore. So let's break down that forecast for your Monday. A dusting to ½ an inch of snowfall. Light snow is going to be expected mainly for the first half of the day with a high around 26. It is still going to be awfully cold. Waking up tomorrow morning, temperatures in the lower teens at the bus stop with those light snowflakes flying. As we look ahead towards the afternoon, highs are expected to top out in the mid-20s. It is going to be another cloudier day for your Tuesday. A few passing snow showers possible south of Toledo. Wednesday and Thursday, we do welcome back a little more sunshine to the picture. Now, despite how cold it was at the end of January, early February is going to be trending at least a little bit milder with some warmer air working in west of us. That cold air is going to be pushing off towards New England, and Ohio is going to find itself somewhere in between with some more at least typical temperatures by mid-February. So what about snow chances? Our main system that we're watching is Friday with a 60% chance of snow as the Clipper moves on through. This one's going to be rolling in from the northwest. It is going to bring us breezy weather as well as some light snow right around daybreak Friday morning, and that system is going to depart, moving over Lake Ontario by Friday evening. It is going to turn colder behind that system, at least briefly colder into the start of the weekend. So there is going to be a 30% snow chance Monday, 20% chance for a few flurries on Tuesday. Friday is that next system to watch, although accumulations as of now look to be only about 1 to maybe 2 inches. We do briefly cool off next Saturday, but then by the end of the 10-day forecast, at least some signs that we do get some quieter weather and a gradual warming trend that'll lift those highs a bit closer to normal by the middle of February. Michael?
All right, thank you, John. Well, Toledo Public Schools is set to start its series of community meetings this week where school leaders will explain plans to transform the district. This comes after TPS announced it was facing a $68 million budget deficit and needs to make changes. Those include cuts to staffing next school year, transforming some of its academic programming, and putting some expansion plans on hold. The community meeting is happening this Wednesday, the 4th, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at Woodward High School. Oregon City Council is set to talk about a controversial data center project tomorrow. According to the council agenda for the meeting Monday night, city leaders say the project's developer needs 4 more parcels of land. The city has already sold 170 acres to Capacity LLC for the project. Council will also discuss requiring the developer to submit a preliminary site plan. Again, Oregon's council meeting is set for 7 tomorrow night. This weekend marked Perrysburg High School Theater's first ever Winter Spotlight Festival. Students got to showcase a variety of acts across 3 different stages for 3 days. The festival wrapped tonight with the final round of Perrysburg's Got Talent. Performances range from sketch comedy to music performances and improv routines. It's also an opportunity for students on the big stage and those running the production from behind the scenes to show what they know.
Once they have the necessary tools, we kind of let them figure out how to best use the tools. Of course, guide them along the way, but give them some creative freedom too. And that's why this event really shines, because they shine. And so it is less about the adult vision and more about what they want to do and what they want to see and what they want to show everybody else.
The student rock band Neck Dive took home the Judge's Choice Award at Perrysburg's Got Talent. Elegance hit West Toledo today as engaged couples got the chance to start planning their future weddings. The Stranahan hosted a bridal show Sunday featuring tuxedos, bridal gowns, and accessories. Local vendors filled the room, such as florists, DJs, photographers, and caterers, giving couples a chance to meet them face to face and to start planning their big day. And with Valentine's Day quickly approaching, one of the event directors, Jerry Mack, says the timing of the event was no accident.
People are in love. It's February. Come on, Valentine's Day is less than 2 weeks away. What it says is that people look for good quality service to plan their perfect day. Meeting the people you're going to be working with to plan your wedding. And this is a great opportunity to do that.
Giveaways and raffles were held throughout the event, along with live entertainment and a cash bar. There was even a robot rolling around on the floor. Chase?
When we return, I'm at the Breslin Center at Michigan State University, where the Michigan women's hoops team beat Michigan State in overtime. We break down the game, plus highlight the Toledo connection, next in sports. Welcome into sports. I'm at the Breslin Center on the campus of Michigan State University, where earlier today, the Michigan women's hoops team beat Michigan State in overtime 94-91. This was the highest-ranked matchup in the rivalry's history, and of course there are Northwest Ohio connections. The 13th-ranked Michigan State team is led by former Bowling Green head coach Robin Freilich, and the leading scorer for the team is former Notre Dame Eagle Grace Van Sluten. Early in this game, Van Sluten with the ball, she's going to work. She puts up a shot, count it, plus the foul. This game was exactly the kind of back and forth you'd expect from this rivalry. We jump ahead to 1 minute to go in this game. Silas Swords decides to pull up from deep and knocks it down. Dagger three. Spartans would end up tying this game at the end of regulation, so we head to overtime. And right out of the gates in OT, Van Sluten goes to the rim, gets it to fall, first bucket of overtime. But later in OT, Olivia Olson fires from deep and knocks it down. After Van Sluten's bucket, Michigan goes on a 10-0 run in overtime and holds on to win 94-91. The Wolverines escape East Lansing with the win.
I mean, I thought it was an excellent basketball game. Two great teams, two top teams in the country, in the same state. It's pretty incredible. The rivalry is real. We watched, well, I'm still trying to catch my breath. I felt like I played defense there for an hour and a half. But we watched our men kind of be in a battle the same way the other night. And, you know, we just had to make play after play down the stretch. And I thought our kids were really able to do that. Hard fought game, but anytime you can win in the Big Ten on the road, it's really incredible, and we were able to do that tonight.
And as we mentioned, Michigan State is led in scoring by former Notre Dame Eagle Grace Van Sluten. We haven't caught up with Grace in almost 2 years, and Sunday was a great chance to watch her play. She's grown a ton as a player and a leader since transferring from Oregon to Michigan State. She still has the rest of her senior season to play, but she's also grateful for what she's accomplished and excited for what's next.
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, a lot of hard work, a lot of basketball, but it's been really good. You know, I'm really happy with my transfer here to Michigan State. You know, close to family, close to home, everything. So everything's pretty good.
And switching gears, we also caught up with another athlete recently. Eric Perriott is a former baseball player from Whiteford. He played collegiately at a few places, including Owens. He's retired now, but when he was playing, he went through a period of depression. He says he found God and decided to do something to help other athletes struggling with issues of mental health. He started the brand Internal Athletics. It includes podcast conversations with athletes and their journey with mental health. He even makes sweatshirts with his logo. But Eric says it's not about merchandise. It's about making it okay for athletes to talk about things like depression.
I was ready to give up on not only my sport, but my life too. And I was ready to give up, and I didn't. And I want to be that inspiration to teenagers and kids and college athletes that, listen, if I didn't give up, then you can't either.
That's going to do it for me from the Breslin Center. Be sure to follow WTOL 11 for all the latest in local sports news. But for now, that's all for sports.
Welcome back in. A 9-year-old Massachusetts boy is getting to live out his dream. He's heading to the Super Bowl as a kid reporter. Out of 200,000 entrants, Louis DeVito was picked as the winner of Panini America's Kid Reporter Contest. Panini America is the exclusive trading company of the NFL and NFLPA. Now Louis and his dad are headed to the Super Bowl for 9 days, and his excitement is unmatched.
Cause like it's like a once in a lifetime chance, and I'm so excited for the warm weather and like spending time with my dad and watching the Patriots play. I was also gonna ask Jake May from one picky eater to another, what's his favorite pregame meal?
Super Bowl at 60 is next Sunday. The New England Patriots are taking on the Seattle Seahawks at Levi's Stadium in California. Kickoff is set for 6:30. And finally, a 16-year-old has made history on the track. Sam Ruth from New Zealand has set a record for the fastest mile run by an athlete under the age of 18. He crossed the finish line in 3 minutes and 48.88 seconds in Boston, Massachusetts earlier today. Ruth caught the attention of the athletic world last year when he became the youngest athlete to run a sub-4-minute mile. Now, John, you are a distance runner yourself. When you
Not a miler.
How fast of a mile can you run?
I don't know. My marathon pace is, like low 5s, but I could not even come close to 4 minutes.
See, he says
super
low
talented.
5s so casually. I can maybe put in like a 7:30 mile.
So I mean, like the entire 20th century, we didn't think it was humanly possible. And it was almost like an arms race. Every country wanted to be the first one to break 4 minutes, and now there's a 16-year-old just shattering that barrier.
Casually busting it out. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
You know what else is pretty crazy? How
cold
it's been.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that, but temperatures at least not going to be quite as bad for the upcoming week. We're going to be climbing up into the mid-20s, and then actually 32, our first day at freezing in quite a while on Friday, although we are going to see some snow chances by the end of next week as well, Michael.
All right. Well, everybody get some sleep, and we'll see you again here next weekend. Take care.